to Sisterhood, your weekly magazine show coming to you from beautiful Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much for joining us as we come together weekly to bring you some inspiration, information and insights.
The intention of the Sisterhood is to create a safe place where we can share, learn and explore from some of the unique issues women face in the Caribbean.
And today we have a very special guest host, Malaika Ballantyne.
Welcome,
Thank
Dole.
you.
Welcome.
Welcome. True. Yes, Ms. Malaika Ballantyne. In the Sisterhood, our aim is to learn from each other's experiences and encourage communicating, collaborating, educating and celebrating each other.
That's
In today's show, we head to the streets to bring to you the pulse of our people, candid and insightful opinions from folks we meet, and our inspirational and motivational segment, Words from the Wise.
Plus self-centered,
Oh, yes.
our health, beauty and fitness segment. And our main topic today is, what don't I know about you? About you. If we look around our lives, we have so many people in it, but do we really know them? Do we really ask the questions to deepen our love and understanding and appreciation of the people in our lives?
Do we?
So today we're going to be examining all of this and more when the Sisterhood returns.
Come back.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Thanks very much for staying with us. We like to thank all our new fans. We have plenty of fans who've been signing up on our Sisterhood Facebook page. Please encourage at least 2 of your friends to join in the Sisterhood. We can only build strength in numbers.
Yes, good. So let's jump into our first segment in the Sisterhood called So I Was Minding My Own Business When, and you fill in the rest. Atalia, you're starting us off this week.
Well, all right. Well, I was here, minding my own business, scrolling through social media. Then I hear, this big man, and he peed the bed. And I was like,
Or the PD bed video.
yeah, I was like,
what
what
you?
Night of me.
Yeah, but no, it's really disgusting.
It's
because
funny though.
I don't really find so because
find it's
I think
funny.
it's belittling the man.
Of
One.
course.
2
Of course,
years.
there's
I
two-
mean,
yeah.
when somebody sleeping next to you, wouldn't really do all of that. And I think it's really where social media is concerned.
Yeah.
One click of a button, that's it.
That's it.
And
Yeah, she
literally
taking
now-
advantage.
Yeah. It was
Social
very
media.
irresponsible. It was very
Yeah,
funny.
it go.
I laugh. I'm sorry. I can't lie. I laugh.
I
don't
hope
laugh.
forget I'm going to be there forever.
Ever.
That's what I'm saying. I hope
Even
they
if
don't
you delete
regret
it,
it.
people remember.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but you know what was sad and disturbing for me about that video? If that man really get vexed now and
That's the
and
thing.
hurt that woman.
Yeah.
You know,
What would people say?
you will say you can't say if she looked for that, you know, Trinidad.
Yeah,
She looked
what
for
would
that.
people
But
say?
women, you have to be more responsible with things
As
that
well,
your
yeah.
choices.
Careful, yeah.
That was not a good choice. It was funny to her. I tell you. I want to act that woman on stage, but it was very irresponsible because that would have get the man vexed. Yeah. Anyway.
And if you love the person, why you begging to
Yeah,
share?
don't
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, tell me how you are because my case right now.
Yes.
Daniela, no, let's go with Daniela first.
Let me go down in
Yeah.
now.
You think she's our guest?
Give her a chance.
I'm blind.
This week I was minding my own business, but one of my friends, she's our mom, a host on a radio show. And she called crying because she made a mistake while interviewing someone. And automatically all the callers started to come down on her.
A grammatical
Yes,
mistake?
it was a grammatical error. And I had to be like, oh gosh, why people like that?
Yeah, they should
I
show
mean,
one.
No, I stayed off on
really-
radio and TV for a long time like that, because I know my verbs could be a little shiny.
But this is the thing
My
about
little
it.
verbs could be a little green. Right?
Yeah,
Let's get
yeah,
right.
yeah.
We
You know,
all
so you have
are
to be so
human
conscious,
and we're
yeah.
going to make mistakes off and on. People remember
don't
we are
let you-
human.
Yeah.
And even when you're in media, everyone is allowed to make a
I
mistake.
think when it happens, the people expect perfection all the
Yes.
time. And they don't expect you to be human. At the end of the day, we are people.
Yeah.
And you know what? They always jump on you when you make the
Yes.
mistake, but they don't come and say, you know, you're doing a very good
Yeah.
job
Yeah.
on the
That's
radio.
the thing.
Other than
Ready
the
to
mistake,
pounce.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once it's something negative, on and
But
on.
tell her,
and on.
don't
all
take
we
it
think about.
personal. She will rise. And
Yes.
she will get there.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, so my turn. Let's
Yes,
come back
your
to
turn.
you. So mine is going really well with the topic this week.
Yes.
Do you really know someone? Well, ladies, you know our stylist who, styled my hair today, Dominic
Cute.
La Roche. So we're talking last week, because I know he lives Claxtonby or
Yes.
somewhere there. We're talking, he said, well,
You
I
assumed
was-
he lived Clacton.
Well, I know he lives there now.
No, yes,
So he
yes.
says, well, no, I was always a West person. And I'm like, hello, I'm from the West. What do you mean? Where are you from? And he said, well, Petty Valley. And I say, what? No, I'm from Petty Valley. And he say, no, the same street. I wouldn't say where I live in exactly. The same drive. I'm like, no, I live in that drive. We're living in the same street. I've lived with him in the same street, just the opposite side. Like there's an east and a west. So he's lived on the same street as me growing up all our lives. And it took Sisterhood to come to work together, to bring two people together, and I think that is just nice. So do you really know somebody? Somebody. When you start to ask the question.
You talk with madam.
Okay. Mine a little different. I have always had this weird, but I was minding my own business and a man ran into my back seat. Normal.
Your car?
Yeah, I'm
driving. Back seat.
Oh gosh. Right, I should have been a little more specific. Yeah. So I am going my way and I thought he stopped for me, so I'm crossing the interchange there. And then but I ended up on the next street. It was crazy. It was crazy, yeah.
He was in the wrong.
I never got a chance to share it. I'm sharing it now.
Yes. So,
yeah.
But
he was wrong. He never heard from him again.
Serious?
Yeah, we went to the station, we do everything, and that was it.
What car number?
I don't have it.
Don't worry, I ain't going to expose you, mister.
No, but still, I mean.
Anyway, I was minding my own business. I was looking at one of our other local channels because you all know if it's happening, it's on 6. Right. But I was looking at another channel and I saw one of our co-hosts standing up next to Brian Lara.
Oh yes,
yes. And if you see Brian Lara's expression.
I can explain myself.
That's because she's so tall.
To the people of Trinidad and Tobago, let me defend myself. See what had happened was, right? We were having a conversation at Brian's launch. He had a
the eyeglass,
yes. So we were having a conversation when the photographer was trying to adjust his lens. And me, I was camera ready. I was like, oh, the camera. I was like, turn, and I turned in time for the
while
picture.
he was still conversing.
Me. So Trinidad and Tobago, the man isn't going to slap me for 6. He's going to put me up on the hills. Well,
because they had
a boundary for 4.
Yeah. They had a picture and people had to put
a
caption and it was very funny. But it looked you see how pictures could tell a different thing. But anyway, that was it. That was it. We were all minding our businesses.
Yes, they were really fabulous stories. Everybody, Penny.
Nice stories. Yes,
of course you did yours to start off with. Okay, people, those were some fabulous stories, but we have to stop here.
Yes. When we return, we plunge into today's main topic. What don't I know about you? Only she's getting scared. We'll be right back. You are viewing Sisterhood, and now we step into today's main topic. What don't I know about you? We have so many acquaintances and friends in our lives, even family members that we have developed a very low level and basic kind of relationship with. The conversations are very superficial and never going into deep to find out more. I know some people would say, that's fine by me. I don't need to know the drama. Or I don't need to know any more about that person than I already do. It's okay. It's not about you people. Sometimes give. However, getting to know people in our lives better is a positive step towards focusing our attention away from just our existence. Right. Yeah. Stepping away from yourselves gives you the opportunity to see things differently, and in the process you can help someone through obstacles. What do you think about that? Yeah. I find that people, we was like, how are you going? You all right? I don't even think we even care to hear the answer sometimes. Yeah. Exactly. Is that so automatic to say, you all right? Okay.
But you ever try to give somebody the long answer?
Yeah.
You can see that they're like, oh God, why did I ask that? I didn't mean to ask that. When it's not, well, really no, because this, that. They don't want to hear all that.
People don't want to hear, yeah, good.
And then social media is adding to that problem of lack of communicating.
Yeah. Because just the other day I even thought about a friend. I was like, you're always calling to go online. Why about just call and say, yo, what's up?
How you going?
How are you? You know?
Yeah, but we feel we know everybody through social media, but it's just a facade.
Yeah. And that's some of the things that we as people need to do more. Yeah. We need to get in touch with each other. We need to understand what makes some of us tick. You know, what are our limitations, what our, what we expect, what are our dreams. Yeah. I don't even know all my friends' dreams.
And the next thing is depression has no face. Sometimes you watch somebody and they're smiling and you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah,
So
it's okay.
And they wish somebody would reach out to them.
exactly.
And
Just ask them.
listening is very important.
Yes.
Some people listening. That's the want somebody to hear them out.
Yes.
And people don't have that patience anymore. And that's the kind of thing that this society, everything is so
Yes.
fast paced and moving fast. I don't hear, all right, okay, I go on. You know?
Okay. So, ladies of the Sisterhood, today we have a little experiment we are going to try.
Oh Lord.
You've been seeing us together here for the past 10 weeks, but what
Yes.
do we really know about each other? Because we only meet up here once a week, you know. Well, our production team has come up with some stimulating questions for us to ask each other. We don't know the questions, I am serious. So you and all of us in the Sisterhood can get to know each of us and each other a little
And
better.
Malika as well.
And Malika,
Okay.
Natalia. This is exciting.
I never said you
It's like truth or dare.
go first.
Can it be truth or dare? So if you don't answer,
No.
you have to
Oh
do a
my
dare.
god. This is
No
really
dare in here.
That's another show. That's another show.
So the idea of this is you will take any question from here and you have to answer it yourself honestly and truthfully.
Oh, I was now going to ask about honesty.
Wow.
As much as you can.
Can you plead the fifth if you need to?
Okay, let's go.
Have to show the camera.
A pageant.
Wow.
World peace.
What is the most annoying habit that other people have?
What do you find is the most annoying?
Annoying habits.
Yeah, boy.
I think
I could list.
Go.
Yeah, I think off the bat, if I'm explaining something to you and you're trying to talk while I'm talking and then you come and ask me back the same question, we have a problem.
That's good.
You wasn't
yeah.
listening.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
was
yeah.
not listening to
yes,
me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
You're
I
a
find
teacher.
people do that a lot.
Yeah, that's
teach-
people being
No,
selfish.
I
eh?
just
Yeah.
be with people all the time.
I hate when people don't look me in the eye when they're talking to
Oh,
me.
gosh.
That's
Yeah.
like what's that about? I hate people who slouch. I hate people chew gum when they're talking to other people. Okay, right. No,
Yeah.
Oh, you?
I tell you.
I'll tell you next. Yeah, dead silent.
No, somebody
me
read it. What was the best compliment you've received? Not from Brian now.
Well, Natalia, that is too
Well,
good.
I
That is
was
bacana.
to me, my best compliment I've gotten is that I'm an inspiration. Sometimes people look into where I'm from, the color of my skin. I've been going through that for
Exactly.
years.
Right.
And to know that I inspire people, and this came from an older person, so it really was really nice.
That's
to
good.
have
Excellent.
Great.
Excellent.
So
Because
that's the best one for me.
Yes.
you are more than anything else.
Along with your amazing
Yes.
stature.
Daniela.
I'm Danny. Pick.
No, let me
I
know.
know you're
So what are some of the events in your life that made you who you are?
One of these real pageants questions. One of the events in my life that I think actually impacted me was my parents getting divorced. I used to look at it as something bad, but now I look at it as something that helped me clear up my view on the kind of relationship I want. You don't have to settle for a bad marriage, and they are now very good friends and better friends now than how they were in the marriage.
Yeah.
And I love them and I respect them so much more for that. I think that was something that really impacted my life and how I view relationships. So,
That is cool.
yes.
Before we continue,
Nice
in
to
that
know.
same mindset, do you think people misinterpret what they're supposed to be or do when they get married though?
Yeah.
Because if you were friends and real close friends before and then oops, or you all get married, everything seemed to change. This is mine, this is mine.
Yeah.
Oh, that I don't know how that is happen.
Lord, so much dynamics
Yeah.
in relationships.
That is when that is goes
Change.
back to our question.
Yeah.
When people don't know enough about each other.
Yeah.
Right, Malika?
And sometimes people
Malika.
change.
I'm always, is it?
I choose.
Am I saying it
She
correctly?
went first.
I went first.
Okay, I was
Okay.
wondering if
Now.
I chose it, if I said it correctly.
Malika.
Malika,
Yeah.
right. Go, Salazar. One question.
Yeah, that's
Lord!
Let me
Who
read.
reading it?
They say that everyone has a book in them. What would be
Ooh.
your book?
What would
What your book be about?
Same here.
What would my book be about? Wow.
And remember the
I will love
children
it.
looking at the show.
Yeah, please. Please, Cecilia, I'm begging of you.
My book would be about the adventures of a Trini girl looking for her truth. Looking for her truth in all kinds of ways. Looking for her truth in relationships, adventures. I have so many things that have happened to me as an actress,
as
a mother, as a teacher, as a friend. So there's a chapter for each of those. And as I said, I have so many stories, having childbirth, babies. I think there's so much I could. What would I name the book? Name. The Crazy Life.
Inside Out.
The Inside Out.
Inside Out.
That's a very good name.
Be
I always say that, as an actor, you have to come from the inside out. It's not put on, it's from inside that we bring out our empathy and learn about each other.
title.
Thanks.
Okay.
Don't choose the question.
If you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time?
Oh, she does sleep anyway.
I cannot say it now. I have to lie.
She lie and I
have to lie.
Okay,
But
take the
the
lie.
second thing I would do if I didn't have to sleep would be to take care of children. All the children who are hurting in the world. If I could just get a chance to comfort them and be a nurse to them and tell stories to them. And if I couldn't sleep, that's what I would want to do. I really want to work on the foundation, because I say, I always tell those children, you are the foundation of your lives. So if I could have a strong foundation, when you grow into be an adult, you come out here, you're ready for the world. So that's what I would want to do.
Trying to get me all teary-eyed.
teary-eyed here.
All right, Yuri.
So,
what's the most surprising self-realization you've had?
Those questions getting deeper.
no, but you know what I think, sisters
this
out
one.
there,
I like this one.
Nice questions.
Yes.
you could do this for your group. Do these kind of things.
And get
Write
to know
questions that you might want to find out about your friend. Do it as a game night,
Yeah, so
Just
it's not
simple
too
questions
serious,
that write it and on print like this so nobody can guess who wrote this, who wrote that,
Right.
So I think it's fun. Go
And
ahead.
still there.
Read
You
again,
can ask.
please. Reread.
Inside Out.
Read it.
Yes, inside out. What's the most surprising self-realization you've had?
That you-
I actually, over the past few months, I didn't even know that I had so much discipline until I set my mind to say, okay, this has to be achieved. I don't care what it takes. I'm giving you 3 months to look like that. And that's it.
Excellent.
And I did it.
Inspiration.
I
I'm
think
gonna
we're
do
like, you've done that already.
Yeah,
still no,
it was like
she learned about
Yeah,
herself.
that's
Excellent.
really cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I realized that
Let me
alcohol is
think.
You are
not good
next.
for you.
Swerve. Who is going to read?
Yes, let me read for her. Okay, and the question is, what job would you be terrible at? I love this question.
Me too.
That's the best question for
I can
next.
think of a million.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Alright. Okay, well,
So you only have one. Go ahead.
What would you tell
I
me?
am such a stickler for being great at everything that I wanted to do, but swimming.
Swimming.
I am
right
so
there with you,
sucky
kid.
Yeah,
at
boy, me too.
swimming. Alright, what happened as a child when we went to swimming classes? I was traumatized. I almost drowned. So they said jump, and I jump, and apparently I jump in the deep. And since that I was scared. So I
You're a
am
horrible swimming
Yeah, my
instructor.
mom paid money for me to go swimming. I paid for money, and bro.
Yes,
I never like little.
And you know they say people of our hue we are not good swimmers, so
Lies,
but
lies.
try now.
I gotta buy some
Try.
flippers.
One job you have to do you'll be horrible at. Just one.
I would be horrible at being a counselor.
But-
I think I'd be a horrible counselor. I would tell people, get rid of what's wrong with you. Get off that couch. Get rid of the line and stop owning.
What job would you be horrible
But
at?
I could be a math teacher.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, very good answer.
No.
Very good.
That was a very good answer.
They would fail.
Yes.
You-
No, I was
what
good
do you
at
think?
math. I
What
actually
job
was.
would you be horrible at?
Cooking.
Cooking.
Yeah. If I had to be a chef, no.
Really?
I will fail. I will fail.
I'd be a horrible lawyer. I swear I would be a horrible lawyer. In those courtrooms, I'd be
You
too
be yelling at
dramatic.
everybody.
I'd be too dramatic. They'll put me out. I wouldn't make money.
You might actually.
Right, you are next. Go.
Oh, it's for you.
Yes.
Right. What are you afraid people see when they look at you?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
I think all my life people have just given me this stigma like, oh, you have a resting B face.
Ooh.
and I just don't seem very approachable. So I tend to smile a lot because I'm so conscious if I'm just there like this. Everybody's like, oh, she has attitude, and that is the thing. So I try my best to smile and try to be personable. Yeah, girl.
That's just how your face is.
But that's the thing.
Go Sal.
Oh gosh. Oh
As you
jeez.
get
Why this one?
older, as you get older, what are you becoming more and more afraid of?
Everything. Everything, you know, sagging and dropping. No, serious. I am afraid of it. I am afraid. And
Everything
I
is
Just to be honest with
yeah,
yourself.
so I am learning to be honest with myself, and as you say, we learn we have to take care of ourselves, drink plenty liquid, exercise, keep it together, and have great stylists.
How do you get in the way of your own success?
Ooh, how do I get in the way of my own success? My insecurity. Because I have no confidence in myself sometimes. I think like every time in my writing, even sometimes when I finish acting in a show, I always need to get people's approval, and I hate that sometimes, but that is one thing that will get in the way of my progress.
I would have never thought about something like that though, Penny, because you always seem so confident, and even when you address us and help us out there, I said I would have never get that.
No, I think that's a mark of a performer too. And sometimes it's good because you don't want to be overconfident. You don't want to be feeling you ain't know those performers and feel they know it all. So asking for a little advice sometimes is good.
Being nervous and insecure is not necessarily a negative thing.
Alright, well, okay ladies, extremely great conversation, but let's go to the pulse of all people.
Well, honestly, I think we don't always truly 100% know someone because everyone has a different personality based on the company they keep or who they socialize with, even with family sometimes, but especially with friends. The more we communicate, the more we open, but sometimes if I hardly speak to you, you will know only so much or based on what I want to let you know. So we never truly 100% know someone. And I think that even goes for relatives as well, because people tend to build up a wall either willingly or unwillingly. So no, not 100%. Even with marriage, the more we live with someone is the more we learn. You never 100% know someone. I think social media will help you demolish that bridge, but it only builds it because people go along with status quo, we go along with the majority. So I might have an opinion against something, but because everyone agrees with something, I don't want everyone to turn on me, so I will say what I think will please everyone else.
Alright, well, in the sense of there being just superficial relationships these days, I tend to agree with what you're saying because we as a current society, we don't take the time to get to know each other. We don't play outside anymore. Everyone's on their phones. We don't go outside and socialize with others in the sense as how it was a long time ago. It's just superficial. It's just on the surface. People have created a space around them in that they are afraid to let themselves, they're afraid to step out and actually be vulnerable in that sense.
With the 21st century come advances. One of the advances is technology and social media. So you tend to realize everyone is into social media right now and is more caught up in social media and into that, WhatsApping and Instagramming rather than that face-to-face interaction. So, I mean, the values of yesteryear whereby, after work or after school, you sit down and you have a conversation with your family. I mean, how was your day and everything. I think to some extent it is, I wouldn't say going out the window, but it's quickly walking out that door. Whereby they come home, they in their phone, now you have to, beg them to ask, to see how was your day. A simple thing as, the punishment long time used to be, come inside, because, you so want to play with your friends, you so want to talk to your friends. Now, the punishment is go outside. because you're so caught up in your own world, you're so caught up in what you are doing that you hardly, and I would say as you ask, hardly, checking out for that person and looking out for that other person. I mean, yes, there are still some who do it, but I think many, or close to many, would agree that you're hardly seeing it these days.
Wow, some really interesting conversation there. I mean, it just goes to show that we don't know each other. We take each other for granted. It's like long time we used to say, love your neighbor as yourself. Good, like Tricandle, morning neighbor, morning. Simple things like that. Just start off by saying morning neighbor, morning.
But even as growing up, Sesame Street.
Oh yeah,
that song. Who are the people in your neighborhood?
Hey.
In your neighborhood. Yeah. We don't know.
I encourage that. I do that in my
I'm also the girl
neighborhood.
who's that same morning going on the road, so
I know
you have
everybody.
manners, and that's good. Really great discussion, ladies. However, we have to go to a commercial break. When we return, we'll explore some of the ways you can find out what don't I know about you.
We'll be back.
Welcome back. You're viewing Sisterhood, a weekly show where we address some of the issues facing not only women in our country, but everyone. Today's topic is, what don't I know about you?
Yes. The relationships we establish with our family, friends, romantic partners, co-workers are very important to have a useful and rounded life. So today we want to focus on the importance of building strong relationships in everyday life by focusing on the 4 pillars of a strong relationship. Communication, extremely important.
Very important.
Respect,
Yes.
enthusiasm, and trust. Extremely important.
Very important. I mean, one of the first things to consider is you must talk frequently. I mean, this may seem obvious, but taking the time to talk with someone shows them you like them and you respect them. The people we talk with most frequently are generally the ones we consider ourselves to have the best relationships with. Isn't that true?
And the thing about it, what? A lot of older people find that young people don't want to talk to them. And I think that's something that we could talking to older people, you understand, you learn so much. And try to make that a habit, young people. Talk to the older people in the community, know them, and you learn so much.
And even by, it's a good form of community watch. I mean, I always go by the man by the parlor, and he's like, how's your father? And I can't just go and buy a papers there. I have to stop and
talk. Being able to see a person's body language, facial expressions, and gestures make the world a different kind of place in building a relationship. This is because talking face to face communicates more information to us faster than words could ever describe.
Exactly. This texting and all of that.
Yeah.
Like I want to be sarcastic.
I cannot read sarcasm.
You can't read that. I wrote that 2-3 days ago on a text. I was being sarcastic and went over their heads. So I mean, yes, you really need that kind of thing.
Face to face.
By utilizing body language, tone of voice, social context, the speaker's true message can be sent more effectively in this way. Communication is enhanced. Misunderstandings are less frequent, and the relationships become built on strong foundations.
Face to face.
Face to face. There's all these shows in America now about 1 hour dating. There's a 1 hour dating show, and there's a marriage proposal at the end of it. Of course, they get to know each other, But really, you can't know a person in an hour.
That's the thing. We like things easy and fast.
Quick.
Yes. Try to be as good of a listener as you are a speaker. Some people consider it more important to be heard and contribute to a conversation. Others believe it is more important to listen than to speak. Simply put, they're both wrong. Speaking and listening is equally important in any conversation. If you spend too much time talking, you won't ever hear what the other person in the relationship has to say. And you always say,
of
course.
And you can't always think that is my point, my point.
You have to listen.
I know what I am saying. No is never listen.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. Similarly, by spending too much time listening, you won't have any of your opinions heard. Conversations are meant to be a two-sided discussion. So we need to remember that.
Yes, exactly.
And it's so true. Accept change. how often have you lost a close friend because you just grew apart? It's common to lose contact with people as we get older and our interests change. But some relationships are strong enough to survive the test of time. This is because these relationships are not based on primarily on common interests.
Like some of my friends from school.
Yeah.
I wish we just separated
for no reason.
and and that's one good thing about Facebook, because Facebook
I
found some of them.
Me too. I found
And
friends
you
from
kind of rekindle a
Canada.
little fire,
No, but we look at all of that and we see things like shifting the base of the relationship to something a bit deeper, such as an admiration or an appreciation for that particular individual, allows one to accept small differences in interest, like and dislikes.
Find something about that person that you like.
Yeah.
Don't focus on the negative of the person.
Yeah.
But sometimes like a common group, like if we join in the sisterhood, this is a great way to to get to know and communicate.
And
with
respect.
people.
You have to respect. When you respect people that love you,
Yes.
treat people with respect. There's no quicker way to weaken a relationship than by not being able to respect those around you. Even though if you
Respect
don't agree with them.
So important.
Respect them. Yes.
Respect their opinion. Respect can be gained by being considerate of others. This does not mean you have to agree with everything, like I was just saying, agree everything your boss say or see eye to eye with your siblings. You don't have to agree, but just respect what they're saying.
Yeah.
But being able to calmly acknowledge and set aside differences help people overcome otherwise troublesome differences.
That is so true. I think respect is so important. And I think most importantly, treat yourself with respect.
Yeah.
I mean, if the other person in the relationship doesn't respect you, it can hardly be considered healthy. However, many people find it difficult to respect those who cannot respect themselves. It's so true. I mean,
that way you respect yourself is in the, like I taught a camp today, and it's the way you walk the road, the way you hold yourself, the way you dress. Those simple things
you care about yourself.
that you respect yourself. You get up and you wash the yampy from your face. Wash the little detail by your mouth.
Come on.
That's good.
And respect and love yourself. I mean, if you're able to stand up for yourself in difficult situations and express when aspects of a relationship are negatively impacting you, then you can greatly improve communication in a relationship and set up a sturdier, healthier relationship dynamic.
Of course.
In this situation, both people are able to function independently, but they choose to work together, as opposed to one relying on the other to stand up for them. That makes sense?
Of course,
we
of
have to
course.
work together, trust each other.
Understand that a network of good relationships makes a quality support system. Life isn't perfect.
Of course.
Sometimes we let people down, like everybody has.
Because if you're living in a home, you and your brother not talking, your mother and your father vexed, you and this one, what kind of relationship you gonna have with other people when you're surrounded by that kind of negativity?
It affects you in everything you do.
Yeah, but life isn't perfect. Sometimes we are let down, put in compromising situations, or quickly expected to deal with unforeseen mishaps. During the difficult times in life, family, friends, loved ones can all be counted to lend a helping hand.
Should be able to lend a helping hand. That's if we're living in a healthy environment.
It should be like that. They can provide advice, boost morale, and emotional or even financial support.
Thank God for my family. I really don't know
I wouldn't
where
survive.
I love my family.
And Mr. Cecilia and I were talking about that. I mean, growing up, we so dependent on, you had family. I came from South and most of my family was in South, so I had to depend on friends.
We became a family.
I mean, all my town people were my family after, because you know how much people I had to borrow a little change from. And that's because of a good person. When people say you respect yourself, they say, I could learn.
She wouldn't
good for it.
That's true. Respect brings trust.
Of course.
So when you're trying to get someone to open up and go deeper in conversation with you, you want to avoid questions that close off the discussion. For instance, you might immediately start trying to learn the person's likes and dislikes by asking, what's your favorite color? Food. Season. The problem with such a question is it does not promote a detail-oriented answer because it can be answered with only one word.
Purple.
Basic.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Purple.
Summer, rainy season. No.
I mean, just aim for the open-ended questions. which allows for broad answers along with the range of topics. These sorts of questions can lead anyway as open-ended questions, as a follow-up to close-ended questions like, what's your favorite color food season? Why? And the why. The why makes more sense. Doesn't stop just there.
Why pink is your favorite color?
Going
more, dig deep. That's what she's saying.
Or you can ask such a question to learn more about another person, such as, what are you doing over summer break?
Or July, August
vacation.
I mean, that's good even like people are dating. I feel like they stick to the boring, same old question.
Let's go to the beach randomly. Call me 3 o'clock in the morning and say 5 o'clock is beach. Let me go. I'm really weird.
People are happy to talk when the conversation is circulating around their interests. To get another person talking in a deeper direction, try to learn about what drives that person each day. So get in there with the question.
One thing I want to say about observation, as an actor, I like to observe people. And one of the things is, if a conversation is happening and you find your only input starts with I, or when I was, or you see me, no, check yourself.
Some people are
there are so many people like that, drives you crazy.
It's true. You can ask simple questions as, what are you most passionate about? That's always a good question. When the person responds, be sure that you demonstrate excitement and interest in the subject and keep him and her talking.
Yes. And I always say, if you don't want to ask somebody something, don't ask. But
if you don't want an answer,
exactly.
If you real answer,
yeah, like, why you want to go 5 o'clock in the morning? Because I go reach beach first.
That's good answer. Ask why to get more information. Ask why. As a rule of thumb, ask. You can ask your conversation partner why, always, after almost any statement, to prompt the person to dive deeper. Why? People who go out on dates, when a boy and a girl now meet and they don't know what to say.
That's awkward.
This show could help you. Just don't ask, so what's your favorite color? Where you living? Why you living there? How you living there? You like living there? Ask. You'll find out. People don't often go to the toughest or the most detailed answers first. Know that. But when you show more interest by asking why, you invite the person to go deeper with you.
It just sounded like when you do improvs, it's the same thing when we're doing improvs as actors. Because if I start a relationship and I ask you a question, if I don't give more, then the conversation ends right there.
Exactly.
So you have to go deeper.
Always.
And it's a good thing too, that you have to how you respond. You have to be honest. You have to respond genuinely. If it's an appropriate time for you to share or respond, of course, do so honestly and sincerely. It will further the conversation and make more sense.
Of course.
You don't have to pretend to agree if you don't want to. In fact, you may not have that deep of a conversation if you and the other person share the exact same views on every topic. It could just be simple.
And I always say too, don't be afraid to say, it's okay, I don't want to answer now, I don't feel to go that deep with you. It's all right.
Don't be afraid to...
I'm not ready yet.
Right. Well, don't be afraid to disagree as long as you're not doing it offensively. Right? The conversation can grow deeper when you have varying opinions and you're able to share respectfully and without trying to make the other person agree with your perspective. Respect their point of view. Well, everybody, we're going to pause there for now. Because we have much more when we return in the Sisterhood.
The Sisterhood!
Welcome back, everyone. You are viewing Sisterhood, your weekly magazine show. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We are so glad you stayed with us.
Thank you.
Of course. Besides taking care of each other, let's take care of ourselves. With this week's fashion, beauty, and personal wellness segment, Self-Centered. Hi everyone. So today when I got up, I was wondering how can I center myself. So I grabbed my shades, grabbed my books, and guess where I'm heading to? Yes, you guessed it right. I am here on Maracas Bay in sweet Trinidad and Tobago, one of our most popular beaches where all the tourists come. I'm going to enjoy this day for you. This is how I center myself. So I'm going to enjoy some sun, sea, sand, and possibly some soca.
We must know that we can learn from each other's experiences and gain strength from the knowledge. So in an effort to encourage sharing, we move into the next segment, Words from the Wise.
My name is Barbara Eugene Waif. I grew up in Maraval village in the foothills of Pyramid. My first school days were at Maraval Girls RC. Fortunately, unfortunately, because of my misbehavior, I pelted a stone at a classmate and literally burst her head. I was sent to Providence Girls Intermediate, where the deep blue eyes of Mother Pius looked into my soul, and I had to behave myself. Later on, I went on to Mausica Teachers College, and then to the University of the West Indies. And may I add, I also graduated from the University of Woodford Square. Well, my parents were very political. One was for PNM and the other one was for DLP. So many of our evenings were spent listening to the debates in Parliament, recorded, you know, and so without knowing it, I became a political being. For most of my life, I have been a teacher and a trainer. For most of my working life, I have been a teacher at Five Rivers Junior Secondary School. My aunt was a teacher, and I enjoyed what she did, and I became a natural mimic of who she was. And as soon as I graduated from school, Mausica Teachers College was open, and she recommended that I go there, and I went. I have the good fortune of having a family consisting of a husband of 49 years, 2 children, and 5 grandchildren. But it's been quite a journey, and I have to say that many persons assisted us. I had wise people to talk with. I had to learn who I am really, and I had to learn how to communicate properly, and I had to get rid of a lot of my selfishness and self-centeredness and recognize that family is just that. It requires sacrifice, it requires understanding, it requires all that love is. One of the major things that happened in my life was being selected to go to London as a Commonwealth exchange teacher. The experience there just opened up my vista. It broadened my vision as to the possibility of what could happen in my life. I was assigned to Kilburn Polytechnic, and there I was asked to design and teach a course in West Indian literature. That's at tertiary level, mind you. I availed myself of any courses that were made available to me. I took every opportunity to go to all that I was invited to, all the social functions. I took the opportunity to visit all the countries that I could have in Europe, knowing, of course, that I couldn't spend that money from here, you know. The biggest lesson I have learned in life is that with God, all things are possible. So it is important to stay connected, to stay plugged in to possibility. The biggest challenge that I've had to overcome has been self-acceptance. I made a conscious decision that Barbara will be Barbara. What I'm most grateful for is the gift of life. I'm grateful too for having published my book entitled Folk Tales from Paramin and Pageant of Lopino. I'm grateful for its reception in Trinidad and Tobago, in Canada, in the United States, and in London. The privilege of teaching so many young people to have respect for themselves, to have confidence in themselves, to appreciate the uniqueness of their being, and to cultivate their talents, so that the children who have graduated from junior secondary schools in my time are all over the place, well placed. And lastly, I'm grateful for being able to worship in freedom in this country as a Catholic Christian. Thank you.
That was our word from the wise. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that leads us to our word of the week. What is the one word that you want to take into next week with you that will focus you, motivate you, and keep you grounded?
My word for the week is food. Other than the fact I'm hungry, again right now. You all know I don't play with my belly. What's you? But
of course, there's always people with flat bellies, don't play with their belly.
And that's true the most.
That's true.
It's true, yeah.
No, but
I do not understand.
I've decided to, like, once a month to actually go to a new restaurant and try new food.
Oh, that's so
Okay, well, that's nice.
Just a little treat to myself and my friends to get closer to them and
Yeah.
experience a new place.
That's
So
nice.
definitely the word of the week is food.
Food.
Love it. We join in
Make
here.
it sense.
Yes.
Make it sense.
I want to go next.
Mm.
I think my word is humble. To humble yourself. Every time, I think because it's motivating,
Yeah, boy.
you must humble yourself in some way or the other.
Yes.
Sometimes you go above and beyond and doing so much for everybody and you just think you need awards for this and awards for that. Sometimes you just need to humble yourself. Everything will come in God's time.
Yeah, true.
So
Nice.
That's nice.
Yes.
And then some people just tell you humbling yourself too much.
Yeah, that's the thing. But too much of everything ain't good.
Ain't good for nothing, that's
So
true.
balance.
Okay, my word will be trust.
Yeah.
Trust. Because we have to trust that the Lord or the divine universe or whatever we call it, the light knows and trusts our instincts that we're on the right path. When we get discouraged and we get down,
It will work.
trust.
Yes.
Trust in Lord, trust in your friends, your sisters,
Yes, have
everyone
faith.
around you, and it will work
That's
out. And
great.
that's what I'm holding on to, trust.
Good.
I am going with excellence because I get complacent. and
No, it's
I want
word for
to
the week
try.
and I don't have to describe me.
Done.
Oh,
A moment of silence.
oh sorry.
Excellence.
I like that. I like
Excellence.
that. Excellent. That
Tell
was
us some
really
more.
good.
Tell us some
I
more.
just want to be able to always put the better foot forward and not just be like, okay, this was good, this was good. I want to go on to great.
Strive for excellence.
Yeah, that's
I love
right.
that. Never settle for mediocrity.
Yeah.
Excellence.
My word would be share. Share.
Well, that's good.
Simple as that.
Serious
Share.
thing.
As neighbors, I remember we used to share. My mother used to make sweet bread, and she would share in the neighborhood. My neighbors right around us would share. So share with your neighbors, share in your relationships, share more of yourselves. Mothers and daughters, fathers and daughters, mothers and sons, sons and fathers, husbands and wives, husbands and husbands, wives and wives. Share something about yourself. Share something that you've never told. Make routine up. I'm going to share this week. What's I'm going to share with you this week?
Yeah, I like
Is
that.
it a dream or whatever? Just share people. And that communication will help us grow as individuals and as people in relationships.
Sharing in the sisterhood.
Yeah.
Sharing is
Oh gosh, I want to thank everyone for viewing the Sisterhood. Yes, and to extend this special invitation to you to join the Sisterhood group. It's totally free. All right? Yeah. We want you to be part of this movement with us.
Yes.
So join.
Of course. So the intention is for us to form a large, powerful group of ladies who will come together in the sisterhood to communicate, collaborate, and celebrate each other.
Yes, it's very easy to join. Just log on to the sisterhoodtt.com and click join the sisterhood, or go to the Sisterhood Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago page on Facebook, and you will find the join the sisterhood form.
So easy.
Easy like peasy. Yes. We want this to be more than just a weekly television show, but a movement that can make the lives of women, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but the region better by coming together and with educating each other and collaborating and communicating and celebrating our greatness as Caribbean women in the world today.
Yes. So I want to thank all of those who tuned in today. We will be back next week, same place, same time. Remember, we also want you to get your Sisterhood bracelet, y'all. It is a 7 chakra and lava stone diffuser bracelet. That means you can add your fragrance to the lava stone, to the stones, and the seven chakra semi-precious gemstone beads are said to have healing powers. They do. They are available for only $100, and they come in a gold pouch. So message us and you can get yours. Nice. We are wearing ours, and we want you to get yours too.
And we might get delivery according to where you live.
Yeah. We also want you to look out for the live Sisterhood empowerment events coming up soon.
Yes, we have one. We are planning something, ladies, so all get to come together.
Join your area.
We are really excited about Sisterhood.
Yes.
We're really excited that it's here, and in the next few weeks we have so many great topics we want to share with you, and we hope that you'll be able to learn something from the experience.
Well, that's it for this week's episode, folks. So join us next week for much, much more. Bye for now. Bye.
And as we always say, let's take care of each other, TNT. Share.
you.